Greetings there, fellow drivers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Pacific Drive, Episode 3, Heading to Sierram. So, trip report. After every run, you have a report about how the trip went and what you did, how far you went, what you collected, etc. Which I'll show you here in a second. So that was a successful run of just under 4 miles.
Alive. We're certain if the zone didn't get you, that gateway would.
Did I not mention that you're the first human I've sent through that thing? I mean, there have been rodents, but it's not like it's completely untested. But anyway, it worked. So, you should have made it back with everything you collected out there. That's the beauty of the gateway. It's the only way to get back with all your marbles intact. Now, take those parts you found into the back room. I'll let you use my fabrication station. For now. That station will concoct ways for you to rig up anything from roof racks to flare guns. Assembling an antenna with those parts you brought back should be easy as pie. But it requires anchor juice to work its magic, so bring back as many as you can. And just because I haven't used that garage in decades doesn't mean you can trash the place. Mess up my equipment and I'll throw you to the Anomaly so quick you'll get whiplash. We clear?
Okay. Break open the room with the impact hammer. And I want both doors. So I'll punch both doors. So things in here. This relates to quests later on. This is a shop vac, which cleans up the gas station. So if there's things littering on the ground, I will demonstrate. So I take a pry bar, drop the pry bar, and vacuum it up. It puts my pry bar in here. Ta-da! And that's true of all of the stuff that you can sort of vacuum up. So, assemble an antenna with the fabrication station in the back. So here's the fabrication station, the auto vac, the pneumatic tubes, lockers. So here's another locker with gear that we'll address in a second. And here is most of the upgrades. There are some upgrades not represented in this tree, but there are garage upgrades, materials, gears, bulbs, steel sheets, so on and so forth. Survival tools, like the putty and scrapper and pry bar. Headlights and illumination, flares and flashlights. Body, which is bumpers, panels, and doors. Wheels. Expansion racks, so that you can attach gear to the sides of the car, and the back seats of the car, and to the roof of the car. Car storage, to expand the trunk. Fuel, battery, utility upgrades, and engine upgrades. Lots and lots and lots of stuff. So it wants me to create the blueprint for a scanning antenna. And in fact, actually make one, which is going to require 40 scrap metal, 5 plasma, and 1 broadcast transmitter, and 1 stable energy. So we have 4 stable energy, as you can see up here in the top left. There is stable, unstable, and corrupt energy. And we got 4 stable energy from the 4 anchors that we returned home with. So here is the installation kit. Whenever some or a lot of what you get from the upgrade station will be blueprints, but every now and then it will be actually installation items. So install the antenna on the roof.
Antenna signals coming through loud and clear. Give it a moment to initialize.
Okay. Wants me to install a handbrake from the locker.
Make sure to empty your trunk before heading back out. You'll need the space.
Very wise. So I'm taking all of the crafting materials that I found and dumping it into this locker here. I'll even do some of the Jenga myself. Personal preference here. I like to keep the other non-locker, non-resource stuff separate. So canned food and meeting minutes, I will put those in this locker. There's a hand vac, which is a new type of tool, which I'll pull out of there. This also had a bunch of scrap metal and rubber. And then there was also a crude bumper and crude panel here that I don't need. So I'll leave them in there. But I will move the repair putty. Or actually, I'm going to leave the repair putty in there too. I'll probably use some of it to fix up the car. So search the dumpster for something to help you unload the trunk. So this is a transfer trunk, which you can unload.
And we're patched. Everything's in working shape, more or less. I've hooked up the antenna to the route planner. Give it a look after you're done peeping through my garage.
Yes, so we are missing a rear bumper. Let's get one of those. And this is, on the left side of the screen, the recommended driver checklist of things that I am recommended to do. So charging the battery is easy. Refueling is pretty easy. It suggests that I craft a battery jumper so that I can jump the battery. In fact, I'll make 2 just in case. I'm going to take the flare gun out because I don't need it. I don't need for it to take up space. So let's go ahead and repair the car. And as you can see, there is a problem with the front right door. It has a cracked window and needs to be sealed. So I will create a sealing kit and seal that up. So, important things to note. Car parts will have different durabilities. So, for instance, steel doors can take more damage and have more impact resistance than crude doors. And the way that you can see this is on the left of the steel door there, you can see 5%, 5%. What that is its durability. So if I go to like crude doors, it has 30 health and 0 impact resistance. And steel doors have 40 health and 5 impact resistance. And the way the game works is that the resistance of the items that you install on your car also increase the resistance of the next closest proximity parts. Meaning, for instance, if I have a steel door here, it offers some resistance to the crude door and the crude panel that are adjacent to it. So there's adjacency bonuses for armor. So if you have a really well armored car, all of the individual armored pieces are going to buff other individual armored pieces on it. And there's other types of resistances too. There are resistances to other damage types. not just impact. So let's get the car up to slightly better than almost broken. And I think all of the major issues have been addressed. The car's at 87%. I'll use the rest of this repair putty for whatever pieces are just a little shy. Now, one of the disabilities, or one of the disadvantages rather, of repair putty is it can't be used in small quantities. It's kind of just like a big chunk of putty. But it is an effective repair tool for non-body work. So repair putty also works pretty good on tires and other accessories that you attach to the car. Right now, we have a main quest line of find your way to town, but I would like to offer you guys the ability to choose the types of runs that I go on. I'm only going to leave this up for a minute, but we can continue with the story and find our way to the town, reaching Sierram. We could collect needed resources for upgrades and new tools and improving the car. We could try to go to a zone that has more discoveries to be made so that we can scan them to learn more about the anomalies and other resources that we have available to us. We can do side story stuff, or I could pick.
Ready to make this remnant verification a one-and-done thing? I'm sending you to visit Colossal Cappy. If that old anomaly doesn't induce electromagnetic resonance in your car, then we're free from Tobias's fever dreams and we can get you out of here. With that antenna fixed, you can now detect stabilized road junctions in the outer zone. You've got a stable route heading straight to Cappy's front door, but the energy readings are off the roof. I advise you not to take the zone lightly. You better gear up or you may not survive the trip. Which would make my life easier, so your call.
All right, my choice. So here are the different zones that we could go to. So as you can see, some have unknown conditions. And we have one scanner charge to be able to scan. And I am going to continue the main quest line. So in scanning here, there are a bunch of unrecognized things to analyze in the zone, but we do know what perpetual stability is. So that's a condition in junction E1 in Sierram. It has decent low anchor energy, but more than last zone, and it has a lot of houses. As you can see in the legend, that green, lots of houses. In order to get there, we have to pass by junction E5, and it has angry abductors. So abductors were those things that kept grabbing us, so they're angry. So one might assume that they're ramped up a bit. There is a lot of other upgrades that we can do, and I would like to offer you the ability to choose. So what sorts of things should we research? And don't feel pressure to vote right now. I'm going to explain some of the choices here. So for garage, we could try to make a matter deconstructor, which allows us to scrap things to return some of the materials that it was made with. For refinement, we could learn how to make bulbs, and that would require a little bit of stable energy. So most of these blueprints will require stable energy. So this would require one of the 3 stable energy we have, or rather the matter deconstructor would require 0.8 of the 3. We could get better tools. So I could learn how to make a liberator, anchor radar, or light replacement kits, any of these tools. We could learn how to make a better headlight once we research bulbs or side floodlights. We could research how to get nicer car body to go with steel over crude. We could get better tires. So instead of only being able to manufacture spare tires, being able to manufacture summer tires, which eventually leads to like off-road tires. We could increase our storage capacity by doing side racks or side storage. Large fuel can to bring with us in our trunk. Lightning rods. But that would require me to scan a wriggling wreck anomaly, so I haven't done that yet, so I wouldn't be able to do that. Limb pulse emitters for the bumper, but we would need to scan a bunny anomaly first. So those are some choices for you all. And we have 3 stable energy. So it looks like you guys want me to choose. So let's do that. I would like to unlock bulbs. So here's the blueprint to learn how to make our own light bulbs. And also steel plates, or steel sheets, which is a prerequisite for steel body. It's actually, most of these refinements, there aren't many refinement blueprints, but these are all very mission critical. Now that we have steel sheets, I think I would like the blueprint for a liberator. So a liberator is less precise than a cutting tool, but it will remove individual sections of a vehicle by precisely placing small explosive charges. It allows you to sort of take parts of broken down vehicles that you find, which can be useful. Just clearing out the unread. And then I have 1.6 stable energy left. I could get steel. Yeah, let's get all the requirements for steel bodies. A steel vehicle is going to hold up better and require less constant maintenance than a crude plastic one. So it uses up a considerable amount of our stable energy, but it will pay off. So I only have 0.1 stable energy left. It's probably not enough to unlock more blueprints. But pretty handy stuff. So with that said, our front bumper is a crude one. Let's get a steel bumper in front instead. And then the hood is a steel panel, but the sides are crude panels. So I'm going to take off the crude panels, and I am going to put them away, if I can fit them. And try to get 2 more steel panels for the side. Oh, I dropped the other one. Go ahead and remove all this scrap metal out of our inventory. Alright, I do have a little bit more currency left. So I have Crude doors. I don't know how many doors I'm going to be able to make, but I wouldn't mind some. So I'm going to do just 2 doors. I'm not going to overdo it and use up all of our scrap metal. I'm focusing on improving the front of the car, because that is what is most likely to get impacted. Okay. Yep, that's all I'm going to do for now. It looks pretty good. The hood is the most damaged piece, but it's okay enough. So... oh, spelled that wrong. We are going to head to Sierram. That is the current priority. So if we take a look at the route map here, our first stop will be the E5 damp forest with the angry abductors, and then we'll go to junction E1, which is Sierram. And it's starting to look a bit like a car. I could probably do more steel parts, but I'm not going to. I would also... so I don't have the materials for a Liberator. It requires thermosap crystals. But I have 3 repair putty in the car, as you can see. 2 battery jumpers in the car. I'm going to make another mechanics kit. And 2 sealing kits. And load them in the car as well. So if our car has issues with mechanical issues or sealing issues, we'll be able to address it. I also have a spare tire. Granted, it is in terrible condition, but it's better than a no tire, because nothing is as bad as missing a tire outright. And off we go. Fuel's full. Batteries are full. And we're rolling. Now, we have an ability, handbrake, which I'm going to bind to left control. So when I need to brake quickly, I can hit left control, and as you can see, it highlights on the ability meter. And you can bind that to any of the keys here, F, spacebar, shift, or control. So you can have up to 4 abilities bound to your car. I'm going to try to do as little loot goblining, but as much scanning as possible to learn more about the regions that we're in. So here in the route map, there's a pink threat that we don't know about. There's 4 white loot that we don't know about. Another yellow, blue, and red threat that we don't know about. So, the threat of this zone is angry abductors. The abductors in this part of the zone are particularly aggressive and more active in their pursuit. Yay! I like to, at the start of the every run, ooh, more notes by Tobias. Poetry by Tobias, in fact. Amongst silver bark and silver light on a chill and silent moonlit night, they came at first in groups of 6, no sound, no words, no calls betwixt. With prying eyes and prying sight, they ventured left and ventured right to pick apart our world's remains as scavengers our loss, their gain. At the start of runs, I like to get at least a little bit of materials, and I might need to turn down the volume because it is going to get really loud. Just so that if I have to make replacement tools, I have some stuff in the trunk for material. So there's a ton of points of interest here, but the anchors are more or less on this train track, which I can follow. No, this is obviously an anomaly. This is a can opener. TLDR. Don't get hit by the can opener. But it follows the red path that you can see here.
Remnants bind themselves to people, like the cars done with you, and how that led to obsession. These obsessions always started innocently, a sudden interest in model train sets or collecting old road signs. The objects themselves would exhibit anomalous properties, but what didn't in the zone, right? That in itself wasn't cause for alarm. But these fixations would only grow worse, until its victims could think of nothing else but the remnant. And they always ended with spiraling into madness and disappearing in a mad chase after something. Sorry, driver, it doesn't sound fun, but better to know what you're up against.
Could the remnant's victims still be out there somewhere? I mean, we never heard from them again, but it doesn't mean they all died, right?
If the madness didn't kill them, the zone did. Anyway, it's been 20 years since the last remnant sighting. I thought they were long gone.
Until you found the car.
Ooh, spare battery jumper. So, can you fight the anomalies? No. You cannot. You can bait the remnants, or bait the abductors with flares, like you saw me do. But you're not armed with a gun or anything like that.
I wonder if you're already feeling the remnant's effects, driver. Have you been fixating on the car, maybe?
If only we knew where remnants came from. Then we'd have a place to start on how to help you. This is no typical anomaly.
Right, yeah. The anomalies we know, they're creepy, crawly, and weird. Like visible manifestations. The remnants were the only ones that wormed its way into your brain.
There's something much more.
I'm in a bit of an irradiated spot here. And I think there's a very angry remnant above me. Or, oh! There's a lot happening. So this anomaly is a Minuteman. An electrical anomaly. And it is about to zap me, so... Go away! That is another anomaly. It's worth stopping and scanning that one too. Scanning anomalies will often open up opportunities to unlock new upgrades. Oh, this is a happy hair. I like happy hairs. Happy hairs is one of the only nice anomalies. I'll read this one. Over the past year, I've seen anomalies cause all manners of chaos. I've seen them dismantle Arda facilities, dissolve trucks into puddles of goo, even tear human beings apart. I've seen the fruits of our labor turn one of the prettiest parts of the country into the most dangerous and unpredictable. But this week, I saw the first sign that things might change. I caught a rare glimpse of hope. Perhaps not everything we unleashed here in this gigantic cosmic accident has been bad. We've logged several sightings of a new anomaly. At first sight, it matches the description of so many others, but this one is different. It actually repairs things, apparently seeking out damaged material and regenerating it in a way not dissimilar to our own prototype technology. It is benign, even friendly, and I'm starting to wonder if it even communicates. This is a happy hair anomaly that I'm currently holding in my hand, and I'm going to slap it to the back of my car. Why, you might ask? Because it repairs things. And I drive into trees and rocks, so having a thing that repairs things attached to the car sounds kind of nice. Would you say the vehicle handling in this game? The vehicle handling in this game heavily depends upon the tires that you have, the upgrades that you have on your car. Oh, bastard, just stole my happy hair. You give that hair back. Yo, stop playing with my head. Get! Stop it! Yo, piss off. This is mine. You find your own. Alright, I do need a new pry bar because I broke mine. And also, the hood of my car is the most damaged. So it's going to be a little hard to drive with that on the hood, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm also going to eat some canned food, which is 8 health per canned food. Because I'm in an irradiated area and I got a little hurt. So as you can see, the health status of my car, those floating pluses, means it's currently being repaired. Oh, there's plasma here. I wouldn't mind getting some plasma. Technique for these is to not loot them until you've deactivated the spark tower, because you'll get shocked, and to be circling around it so that it can't target you as easy. I'm gonna need a new impact hammer soon. And no! Stop it! No! Stop it! Give that back! What a jerk. So we're almost up to the anchor points. Are you okay? So as you can see, the zone's modifier was angry abductors. Yeah, they mess with you so much more. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That don't look good either. No, stop it. Stop it. Oh, you are terrible. Anomaly. Wriggling Rex. An electrical type. It's a trap. It's a goddamn trap. It's a monster. Enough said. Don't need to read the rest. Gusius, Vels, Har, and Sapo. Thank you for the resubs, by the way. My hood's almost fully repaired. If you wanted to see the Wriggling Rex, well, let's see it anyway. Yep, it's a trap. A big electrical trap. I drove through quickly. You need to leave me alone. So these are pneumatic deposit boxes? No, leave me alone. Oh my god, leave the hair alone. Okay. The Wriggling Wreck has also charged my bumper. There's not a fix for it, but it's electrically charged. Where'd you even take that hair? Oh, I think they're playing... I don't know where the hair went. I think one of them took the other one and they sent it. It's gone. That's okay. I have a pretty repaired car. Maybe you'll find another happy hair. So if you take a look at the route map, we have scanned all the anomalies in the zone. I still have yet to scan some other stuff. But there is a anchor right there. For anchors, I like to leave the car running so that I can get running in case things get... Oh, yep. Things get a little sketchy. We can bail quick. Oh, yeah, we got shocked anyway. And I saw the other anchor. It was over here somewhere. Oh, I'll scan that. Glittering boulder. TLDR, that thing is like a boost. You hit that and you speed up quite a bit. Alright, this stuff has steel, but I think I'm okay. I have a lot of scrap metal now. I don't need a loot gobble of that. So let's get over to that anchor and get out of this zone, because this zone has aggressive abductors, and they are messing with me quite a lot. Some zones, given their conditions and difficulties, are like really not worth sticking around when they're too dangerous. You'll take more damage or possibly die, and it's a net negative. And those zones are best avoided or driven through quickly. So this is the last anchor in this junction. And each section of the map is considered a junction. So now we are done. There's a whole lot of buildings to my northeast, but I am gonna make the choice to move on and to loot anything between me and the exit, but not really worry about anything else. So, some of the junctions here, this one, for instance, has an exit point where you drive through. Most junctions will let you drive through them. Ooh, hi, can opener. But as I mentioned before, avoid dead ends. So topping up my fuel, siphoning a little bit from these cars. That car doesn't have a trunk. That's just a car frame. There's literally nothing left of it. It's rusted all the way through. Well, actually, no, that's a honeypot. Wait, which... is this the honeypot? Honeypot is another type of anomaly. Oh, I think this is the honeypot. Well, I'll show you. It's interesting that it hasn't triggered. So I don't recall scanning a honeypot. So the logbooks for the honeypot. That's odd, it's undiscovered. Okay. But somehow I know about it. This impact hammer's pretty toast. I'm just gonna toss it. So for me to make another one, I need another gas cylinder. And gas cylinders are typically found in ARDA buildings. So if I need yet another impact hammer, going into ARDA buildings would be smart. Oh, hang on. So this is a Squire. Squires are like ARDA employee cars, and they are much nicer than the cars that you typically find. So these are generally worth stopping on, and they come with armored panels, which have something called thermosap crystals as a looted resource. Which of that was that red crystal I just picked up? This thing. Which can be recovered from high HP... oh, that is the storm noise. High HP armor panels, doors, and bumpers. So that noise right there, if you're wondering, is the go noise. What that means is that the zone is collapsing. It is essentially unstable, and over time, this yellow wave of instability is going to close on the zone, followed by a red one. Meaning that if you stick around, you die. Perpetually stable zones don't have collapsing storms like that unless you summon the storm yourself. But most zones are not perpetually stable. Oh, I see another happy hair up there. Yep, thank you, happy hair. I'm gonna move you, though. Because the panels back here are the damaged ones. So I'll put you there. Where the damage is. So I could tell that because it's a darker shade for the rear right and rear right door and panel. So here you can see the, like, let's call it a barometer shaking with a storm warning, meaning it's go time. If you were wondering, well, no, I won't even say that. It'll be kind of self-evident. The screen does follow me, yeah. Because it's sentient? I don't think it's sentient so much as it just follows me. I don't know. I'm just the driver. So yeah, on the HUD here, as you can see, that those panels that were darker teal are now lighter teal, getting there fully repaired. So thank you, Hair. And this is a pretty good indicator of how fast the storm moves in. Right? It depends on the zone. So in the route map here, you have junction stability at the top right. So the junction stability of this zone is okay, meaning that the storm won't close on you too quickly. If the junction stability was really bad, the storm would just go shwoomp pretty fast. It depends on the conditions. So I was back here looking for food. I'm gonna swap my ham vac that I have for my first aid kit and bind that to, or just to keep that on me, because I'm a little wounded, and I wouldn't mind a little healing. I can also stand by this happy hair and get healed, so I'll heal myself that way. Thank you, Hair, for the free healing. Bye, Hair. Thank you for tuning in to Pacific Drive, which streamed as a marathon one time only, March 16th and March 17th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind that both no feedback can be incorporated because this was streamed as a marathon one time only, and also I ask for no spoilers so people reading the comments don't have the game spoiled for them. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com or the description of this video have a link to it. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, viewers that turned out for this marathon, and viewers like you as well that made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow breachers.